YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and it is time for the episode 100 special. It's a little bit behind where it actually should have come out, but gave me a chance to play some battles with you all, and some of them got a little laggy. The last one got a little laggy. I didn't get a replay from it, and I actually missed the very first naval replay, but I got a couple of replays here for you. One is the 2v2 battle that I played with viewers, and in case you all didn't notice, I did Apache's Weekend Warrior. These two battles are going to be a recap of what went on then. You can watch the live stream version if you want to see some other stuff, but these will be here without lag, which might make it a little easier to see what happened in the battle. For episode 100, I wanted to do something special, and I will show you the 2v2 land battle we did, but I wanted to show you this 2v2 naval battle that went on. I played as the RDA, my teammate was Rome, and then we were playing against Carthage and Athens, and this is not just a naval battle, folks. This is the beginning of a future sport. The sport of the distant past of the future, that is. So this is Nile Naval Football. It's played in the Nile River, and it has some very specific rules that I'll explain whenever we get in. But yes, if you want to be a part of this, obviously now we're going to be seeing the starting of the PPNFL, as I like to call it. This is Apache's Professional Nile Football League. So yes, who knows? Maybe we can even go for some type of World Cup eventually. But no, so Nile Naval Football. What are the rules? How does it work? So what you do, and you know what? I think next time I'm going to try it on open water because it'll work probably just as well. The only reason I didn't do it on open water is because I want a more compact battle area. See how there's land here and a red line right here, so it's very compact, which makes it hard to get around the edges. You're going to see two land units over here, one from Rome, one from me, and it's just because the defenders in a coastal battle are required to have at least one land unit to start the battle, so we just stick them up here. But land has nothing to do with it. So basically it's two teams, and there could be different versions of Nile Naval Football going forward. This is just the standard version, I suppose. So each team, or each player has a ball, and the ball is a small ship that needs to be either a raiding Hemolia or equivalent, so a small fast ship, and it is the only ship of this variety that you're allowed to bring. So in my case, I have this raiding Hemolia with slave javelin men. The Roman player should have someone, yep, here's his ball right out here on the very right flank. It's a raiding Hemolia with levies. And then the Carthaginian player's got his ball out here on the flank too, which is another raiding Hemolia with Libyan javelin men. And then, or Athenian, was that a Carthaginian ship? Yeah, that's the Carthaginian player's ball. Let's see if I spot, yeah, the Athenian ball is right in the middle of like he's got like a warhead-shaped formation going here, like a spearhead. Kind of interesting, yeah, he's got a spearhead formation with the ball right in the center. And then the Carthaginian players lined up against me here. So what are the rules to Nile Naval Football? Well, the rules so far, and they could change as we fine-tune it, is a maximum of 2 artillery ships, so each player is only limited to 2. And the reason I did this is because it'll make them more important. Artillery ships have a huge range, and they can kill units from a long ways away. So I limited them so that maybe you need to take care of them, treat them special. And the goal, or the whole idea of Nile Naval Football, of course, is to score a goal. And the way that you score a goal is you have to take your ball, and it has to touch the red line opposite of where you start. So in my case, the goal is here, and in the case of our opponents, their goal is behind us. So you need to slip the ball, quote unquote, into the goal. And these ships are quick and fast, so it'll make it interesting. So I have a strategy set up here. I don't know what my opponent's strategies are, but let me show you my general strategy. I'll go to the overhead here so I can show you what I'm going on. I'm the red. My teammate and I are the red, and then the opposing team is the yellow. So when I zoom up here, let me get my drawing tools going. I have basically a line of assault ships here, and it's going to try and control a certain area. And what I'm going to do is move them forward as a line to try and pin the main Carthaginian fleet. I then have a line of heavy tower ships here for flanking and ramming, and the idea is that I can bring them into an enemy flank. And then on my far left, this is my scoring strategy. I've got 3 ships here just to run disturbance, and then I've got 2 more ships as a screening measure. And basically my idea is I take in the front line, again, pin enemies, sneak around the flank here, and then send my ball in behind these ships, and eventually obviously take my ball on around here into the goal. But you can see the Carthaginian player, of course, intends to guard this area, and then he's got a rear guard as well, which is going to be important. And then this Athenian player over here, he did really well in the last game too. He's got an interesting, like I said, kind of like his formation looks kind of like an arrowhead here. I don't know if you all can see that, but it's kind of an interesting formation. Maybe he's hoping to punch through and send his ship on through. And then the Carthaginian player is obviously going for a sneak attack here down the flank. That'll be hard though, because the Roman player has brought an interesting strategy. His strategy is probably not all that different from mine. He's just doing it with Rome, where it's probably going to be more cost effective. He's got all these assault ships with Principes, and obviously he's going to try and just muscle his way through an enemy by boarding. And then he's got a ton of ships full of levies, and a couple of these other ships, or a couple of ballista ships as well. So all of us are fielding ballista ships, and rightly so. They're a great unit for killing stuff at range. So let's go ahead and hit play, and I'll kind of focus starting on my side, because I go straight to it. I want to implement my strategy, and again, my strategy is going to be getting my ball ship right through this gap and on over towards the goal. So I'll let you all watch. So yep, Nile Naval Football, world premiere. So here we go. Got all of our ships coming in. You can already see our artillery ships trading fire. Mine are trading fire with his. And then he's focus firing on one of mine. Yeah, here comes the initial rams. And you can see I actually scoot through with my slinger ships. And this is so that I can cause some trouble behind him. And I'm coming in for rams right here. Got a nice solid ram there. And so you can see how I've got his ships pinned. And sure enough, I got my hole right here, right down the flank. So I'm going to quickly move my ball through the hole. And let's see, the Roman is kind of going up against the red line to try and keep from being outflanked. And you can see he's now got a whole bunch of attack orders here as well. And then here comes my heavies right down the center. Yeah, I kept these guys in the center just to make it not easy for anybody to get through right in the center. But yeah, you can see that my ball has made it through. And there's, again, this ship back here is just a nuisance raider. You see how it's got his ships kind of all bottled up right here? This is the goal. I've got all of his ships bottled up. This ship is fast enough that if I can break around the flank, I'll get away, hopefully. Obviously, I'm still going to be prone to javelins and other missiles. Fortunately, the Carthaginian player doesn't have slingers. As far as across the main line, we're trading rams and boarding actions with each other. And the Carthaginian player will probably do pretty well here. I think I've just brought small ships full of Illyrian Marines, which are good units, but they're in small numbers. And check it out, my men did make it. So we'll go on aboard my ball. So here's my men running towards the goal. You can see the Carthaginian ships now giving chase. They are larger vessels, and my opponent has them in row hard right now, which is for a short period of time his men will row faster. And you can see him throwing flaming javelins, doing whatever he can to stop my ship. The flaming javelins are probably trying to light me on fire, but you can see that I just got the ability to go into row hard as well. So I'm going to actually put some distance between my boats and his. Yeah, he probably should have used standard javelins here just to see if he could rout my ship. But it's not to say that it was necessarily a bad idea to use flaming javelins either, because my opponent might have lit my boat on fire and gotten rid of it. Because if you get rid of your opponent's ball ship, they can no longer score, and potentially you could win. So as far as scoring goes, it's whoever gets the most points when all the fleets are sunk. And you can see that I kept one artillery ship back in the back, and my scoring ship is now home free, so I'm pretty much guaranteed a point. The Roman is going to be guaranteed a point here too. He just made it through with his raiding Hemolia. The Carthaginian ball is still alive as well. It's right here in the center, and he's trying to outmaneuver all of these large ships and make it through. And then the Athenian ball just made it through as well. So this, if we can stop their ships, we'll win, and if they can stop one of ours, they'll win. But ours are pretty much scot-free, and you can see that mine actually is just about to score a goal. I've got it moved all the way up to the red line. So this is going to be goal for my team, so 1 point, and then we'll just go ahead and call it 2 over here, where the Roman's going to score. So we just scored, but the real question is, can we stop the Athenian and the other ones from scoring? Now my ship is on fire, which is bad. I'm taking fire damage, and then he got a ram in on my ship too right there. I blocked him. I couldn't get them to turn around and fire, and so I was just trying to block him for a minute, and then I was going to try and shoot him with my ballista, but my ship routs. leaving the Athenian ball with just a straight run to the goal. And then the Carthaginian ball managed to break through here, and there's no way we'll catch it with these larger ships. So at this point, it looks like all groups are going to score. So this ends up being a draw, a 2-2 draw in our first match. And just look at this massive cluster of crap going on here with the Roman ships trying to get to the Athenian ships. Athens has some pretty good naval units. These guys, you can see here, their boat got sunk, so they're all abandoning ship. And you can see some of the Roman ships trying to maneuver around here. They're kind of ramming around. You can see the Roman player kind of breaking up at this point, trying to get back into maneuverability. But yeah, so here's the Carthaginian player and the Athenian player both going to score. So, yep, all teams scored. So, I don't know what you all think of Nile Naval Football. I think it's a lot of fun. It's kind of an interesting take on a naval battle where you're not just focused on winning the naval fight. Obviously, it helps. But you're also going to be focused on trying to get your ship through the blockade, basically, and into position. Check it out, the Carthaginian hoplites boarding. Those guys, oh, that was a brutal ram. I'm surprised that didn't sink them. Obviously, the bigger ships deliver the most brutal rams, but that was a pretty good one. Yeah, Carthaginians against Principes. They'll get torn apart. Looks like he rammed his own guy right there. Yeah, the Romans trying to deliver some rams in here as well. And looks like the Carthaginian ship just caught on fire too. So, and the other one that's sitting right next to it might catch on fire as well. Yeah, that's not good, them being on fire like that. So those Carthaginians are dead meat. And you can see that one of the artillery ships is still up here firing at the other artillery ship. Wow, brutal ballista shot, flaming ballista rolled right across the deck. Anyway, yeah, the fight could have gone on for quite a while. We all ended up admitting defeat so that I could go on to the next match because I was live streaming. But yeah, look at that. That was a brutal hit right there, too. This Carthaginian artillery Panteras is routing under heavy damage. It might get sunk. Keep an eye on this. Yep. That's going to be the straw that broke the back there. So these guys are going to abandon ship as it sinks. The naval battles on here really are pretty cool. They're a little bit glitchy. It's kind of hard to control, but it is neat. You know, just that feel of ramming and stuff being alive in the games. If you tweaked the pathfinding and stuff a little bit, they'd be a lot of fun. Obviously, CA is probably not focused in on the naval battles, but I do find them pretty entertaining and pretty epic. I think they're a lot of fun. It's going to be hard to beat the naval battles in Empire and Napoleon. But these ones are pretty fun. Anyway, that was like I said, first match in Nile Naval Football was a draw. If you all are interested in doing more of this, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. I've thought about some different revisions of this. Like you could play it in rounds, for instance. Like one team would be on offense and one would be on defense. And you could play like 3 rounds or best of 3. Or, yeah, after the end of... Yeah, maybe you could just do after the end of 2 rounds. Whoever's in the lead or whatever, something like that. You could kind of make it up. And then that way, you know, only one team would have a ball ship, and maybe even just make it one ship that's the ball. And I mean, you could go a number of different ways. Anyway, give me your take on it. Also, you could do it on open sea. It would mean that the map is a little wider. Again, tell me what you all think of that. Just kind of give me your thoughts how we could tweak the naval football here to make it continually even more interesting. And who knows, maybe we can get like a naval football tournament going and have some fun with it. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this for episode 100. I thought it'd be something kind of different and something to keep you interested and kind of just show you that you don't always have to do things, just the same old way in Total War. It's kind of like the zombie mode that I played with Will and Prince of Macedon and Lionheart in Napoleon, where we had to defend the fort against the horde of Janissary zombies. So, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do in Total War, and I'm sure there's even more ideas out there. But like I said, hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.